house. My voice not all the way here yet. It's too early. But I'm about to head to the job fair. It is I think like 50 minutes away from me. Well, that was when I checked it at 7. So it's probably a little bit further. Well, a little bit longer now. So probably like close to an hour. But yeah, about to take y'all with me. This is the reason you leave your house 30 minutes before you need to. Because look at all that traffic. That's the only bad thing about Houston though. And I've been fortunate enough the whole year I've been here to have a job that is 20 minutes away from my house in the same area. So I don't go through traffic. I don't experience traffic. But when I do go places, this is what happens. Okay, y'all, so I made it to the building. It didn't take that long. I caught traffic a lot, but maybe like 45 minutes, maybe. And then this road over here got a whole bunch of construction, so I had to make a U-turn and figure all that stuff out on how to get to the building. Luckily, it got multiple entrances because the first way the UPS brought me, or GPS brought me, was like blocked off. So I found my way around. It's a lot of cars here, but not as many as I was thinking. Maybe because it's still early. They said it doesn't start until 10, but registration starts at 9, and it's 9:13 right now. So I think I'm go ahead and go on in. I'm just so nervous because I've never been to a job fair before, so I don't know what to expect. Like interviews, what you need to expect, questions, blah blah blah. I don't know if they're gonna be doing interviews. I guess they got to, because they said that they had 4 or 3 different ones last week. 3, 4. It was one in Dallas, it was one in Austin, and it was one in San Antonio. And last week, and out of those 3, 450 people already got hired. So that's already more than last year, because they said last year out of all 4 of them, 500 people got hired. So hopefully I'm one of those ones, but we'll see. Okay, so I just got out of the job fair. It is 12:30. So I was in there for 2 hours and 30 minutes, and it don't even seem like that long, but I guess it doesn't seem like that long. But I had 2 interviews. Well, let me back up. So when I first walked in, I went to the sign up desk, and they gave us these since we had registered. And so EC through 6 is what I'm certified for. So we did that, and then so I walked in at 9:30, and I was waiting for like 35 more minutes because they didn't start at exactly 10 o'clock. We had a few people talk to us while we were standing out in the lobby, and then they opened the doors and let us go in. When I tell you, it was like 45 booths in there. It was, and I'm probably like I'm probably shorten it because it was a lot of booths in there. I walked in and I was like, whoa, like it was like overwhelming of how many people you could like go up and talk to. And then what's going through my head is like, okay, I go up and talk to them. What am I supposed to say? What do I do? Like, introduce yourself, and then what? Like, what's next? So, I was trying to look to see what some of the school districts that are closer to where I live, because I don't really want to drive that far every morning. But it is what it is. If I get a job offer from somebody that's 50 minutes away from me, then hey, it's better than nothing, right? So the first school district I saw when I first walked in was Aldine, but I didn't go there. I went to Katy school district, and I know some of y'all might not know what I'm talking about. Y'all probably not from Houston, but Katy is like right down the street from where I live. Sapphire is too. Those were my top two, so I made sure that I went and talked to them. So Katy, they were only taking your resumes and asking you, have you already applied? If not, then go apply. And that was pretty much it. I walked around until I found Sapphire, because I was like, Sapphire not here? Like, what? And so I found them. They had me sign up on this little laptop, and a lot of the booths had you sign up. So basically just saying like, hey, I came to the job fair. That means I'm interested, you know. If you have anything, give me a call, basically. So signed up, and then the man was like asking me, he looked at, like, a lot of people were looking at our name tags like, okay, yeah, we need somebody EC through 6. Yeah, we need a math teacher. Yeah, we looking for ELA, blah, blah, blah. So he saw my name tag and he was like, okay, well, would you like to talk to somebody? You know, we're back here doing screenings is what they call it. And I was like, yeah, like, so he was like, okay, we're going to have you wait back here until we have some of our people come available so that you can talk to them. Like, okay. So I waited like 10 minutes maybe, and then I started talking to this woman. It was an interview. It was not a screening. Definitely an interview. Bunch of questions asked, you know. And she loved me. She told me at the end, she was like, I love you. So she had asked me, have I applied? And I told her, like, when I tried to apply, it was like I couldn't apply until I had already passed my content exam. And so I had to, and I didn't pass my content exam until like 4 days later. So when, so I couldn't apply. And then she was like, okay, so when you go home, you need to apply, because I'm going to give this paper to the people at the school, and they're going to go through and see if you're in their system. If you're not in their system, then they can't contact you. So I have to put in application for that school district. But yeah, she was like, she loved me and I should be getting a call. You know, like, she can't say, you know, hey, I'll make sure they call you, because it's not up to her. But basically, she recommended me, and so it's up to them to call me or not, basically. So then when I lived there, I walked around and I talked to a couple more school districts. Pretty much the same thing. Do you have your resume? Okay, what are you interested in? You know, grade level, subject, things like that. And then, okay, well, we have something, or no, we don't have anything, but keep an eye on us. If they did have something, then have you applied? And I'm like, no. And then so they like, okay, make sure you go apply, and we're gonna contact you. We have your resume, things like that. So I'm like, okay. So I did, like, and I had I was like, after I had saw Katy and Sapphire, I'm thinking like, okay, I need to go to other districts, like who cares about the drive? I'm trying to get a job. Like at this point, I kind of need anything that's like in Houston, except for like South Houston, like that, because it'll take me like 2.5 hours to get to like some parts of Houston, like on a school day. So then after that, I just started going to different school districts and same thing pretty much. And then I was like, okay, I'm thinking about all the things they were saying, like my program, the Texas teachers, like they sent text messages to me, like I don't know, like 4 times this month saying how many people get hired on spot and this and that. And so I'm thinking like, bruh, like I'm not, like nobody even interviewing me. I had one interview and they can't even hire you on the spot. They gotta give it to the people at the schools and they call you for an interview, a real interview on campus, and then they decide after that. So I'm just like thinking in the bathroom, like, and I was like, I went to pretty much all the school districts that like are what's the word I'm looking for, like really, or like doable, like close to me, or as far as I'm gonna go. So then I'm like, no, I don't want to leave because I need a job. I want a job. So forget it. I'm going back out and I'm about to go somewhere else. So I went to a couple of more. I can't really think of the names. But then I was like, I'm going to go to Houston ISD, and then I'll call it a day, because all these other ones, like they had school districts that was like 2 hours away from Houston. I'm like, why are y'all here? And then so I went to Houston and I was talking to one woman and she pretty much said the same thing. She got my resume and asked me what was I looking for, and okay, make sure I go apply and all that. And then I look at the next booth and it was just this specific elementary school. And so I'm like, okay, well, where is this at? And they had a big whiteboard on at the bottom of their desk, like the booth, stating like what positions they have open. So I'm looking at it, like boom, there goes 2nd grade English, self-contained. Boom, there goes 3rd grade self-contained. Boom, there goes 3rd grade ELA. I'm like, them my top 3 right there. Like I want to do 2nd grade or I want to do 3rd grade, and it can be self-contained, that's fine, but I really want to do ELA. Like, so I'm like, okay, I need to talk to these people right here. And they were doing interviews, so I'm like, oh, I'm about to get an interview. And so the woman I had talked to from Houston, she was like, are you interested in this school? And I was like, yeah. She was like, okay, because they're doing interviews. If you want to wait, do you have time to wait? That's why I'm here. Yeah, I got time to wait. So she was like, okay. And so when the woman came from one interview, she had introduced, it was 3 of us waiting. The first 2 people were both, no, one of them, he was trying to be a PE teacher. So they didn't have anything, they only had dance. And so he didn't stay for an interview. The second one, she was, I think, sped, but she didn't pass. She hadn't passed her content exam, so I don't even know how she was even here, because this job fair was exclusively for people who passed their content exam already. So I don't know if one of her friends maybe just told her to come or something, but they didn't want to interview her because she didn't pass. She hasn't got, past the exam yet. And so then she talked to me and she's asking me had I passed, and I was like, yeah. And she asked me what I was interested in. I told her 2nd and 3rd, and she was like, okay, well, do you have time to talk? And I was like, yes, I do. She was like, okay, give me a few minutes. If you want to wait, just give me a few minutes. Like, I got time to wait. That's what I'm here for. I'll wait. And so after about 5 or 6 minutes, we had went back. All right, y'all. So I didn't know that my phone cut off because um, I was holding it in the sun, so it shut off. Saying iPhone needed to cool down, and I was just about to go home and just finish where I left off, but I couldn't use my iPhone because um, it's too hot, and I don't know how to get home. So I just waited. It wasn't that long, but I reversed the car, so my phone is not in the sun. But let me finish saying what I was saying. So we had went back um, into this area, and it was a lot of people doing interviews. A lot of people were back there. So we were talking, and she was just asking me, a lot of questions, interview wise, and then at the end, she we got to the end of the interview and she realized that she hadn't even introduced herself, and I didn't know who she was. I knew she worked at the school, but she I didn't know who she was. She could have been a teacher or anybody, but I figured she was some type of administrator, and she was the assistant principal. She loved me. She said she loved me. She was like, she think I'd be a good fit, but she had to talk to her principal, and the principal was right behind me giving another interview, and so she was like, she has to talk to her. They haven't even had time to talk to each other yet, but the school is closed down right now for cleaning, so she was like, if she wanted to do another interview on campus, she don't know when it would be, probably next week sometime before they could get onto campus, but she was like, she's definitely gonna tell her about me. So fingers crossed I get that job. She was telling me a little bit about the school. So she was saying that it's 70% Hispanic, 30% African American, and so it's kind of like a low poverty school or whatever. So you have a bunch of challenges and things like that, because these kids may not have home support or anything like that, but it's cool, it's fine. I work with 2-year-olds. Nothing surprise me no more. I feel like if I can work with 2-year-olds, I can work with anybody except for high schoolers, because I ain't got time for that. But yeah, so fingers crossed on that. But you know what I do want to see? I'm ready for the text message that Texas teachers gonna send out, or email, saying how many people got hired here today, because I don't think it was a lot of people that got hired. They weren't doing that many interviews. The little room that I was in was really the same room that everybody was in, but it was kind of sectioned off by curtains and stuff. But I feel like it was only the people who booths were set up right on the outside of it. And it was probably only 5, and so I'm ready to see this text message of how many people got hired, because I feel like they're misleading, because I'm supposed to get hired today. So we'll see. But maybe my interview does get me hired before next week or by next week, because I gotta go through new teacher training and everything like that, and I know that has to happen. I don't know who told me this, but one of the people I talked to told me August 1st, the week of